Good morning everybody, welcome to Talk Tuesday, all about sleep strategies. And I thought that I would talk about this because I know a lot of people who've been having trouble sleeping lately, and it is very common in ladies of a certain age, so it seemed like a good time to talk about it. So I'm going to give you a few tips on how, if you're having trouble falling asleep. I've got some more for if you wake up in the night and can't get back to sleep, but I suspect we may not have time to get through all of that list today, so we'll see where we get to. So first of all, if you have trouble falling asleep, some of these you may know, but I'm going to go through them anyway because they are important, they do work. So the first one is to stop using any electronic device for at least an hour before you go to bed. Now that means anything like a phone, a TV, an iPad, a laptop, anything that gives out that blue light. And the reason for that is that that blue light interferes with your body's production of melatonin. And melatonin is the substance that triggers your brain into winding your body down ready for sleep. So you need to make sure that you maximise that production of melatonin and you don't interfere with it with anything that uses or emits that blue light. And for the same reason, don't have your phone in your bedroom if you can, or if you need it for your alarm, then at least turn it upside down so that that blue light is not coming out at you through the night, because otherwise if you get notifications and stuff during the night, then it'll switch that phone back on and it'll flash that blue light. So that's tip number one. The second one is to establish a regular bedtime and a regular waking up time. Now, by doing that, I don't just mean in the working week, because quite often we might get up at 7 o'clock on a working day, but then lie in at the weekend. Excuse me. Your body needs to know when it's time to go to sleep and when it's time to wake up. So you need to, as far as possible, keep that regular routine going, because when you do that, then your body knows that, like in my case, I tend to go to bed at 10 o'clock. I'm quite an early to bed, early riser. And my body knows that at 10 o'clock, it's time to go to sleep, so that if I am out on a night out, I'll start getting really, really sleepy at 10 o'clock. But that's because I have established that routine. Now, if you're at the stage where you're still struggling with your sleep patterns and you're thinking, well, crikey, this isn't working, remember that it takes time to build a habit. So stick at it, keep going with that regularity and that routine, and it will start to improve things. Now, my third strategy is actually, I should put it first, because for me it was the game changer. So when I started really having problems with my sleep patterns when I became menopausal, I read about this particular strategy that I'm going to tell you about, and I thought, can't see how that's going to work, but I'll give it a try. And as I say, it was a game changer for me. It really made a difference. And all it is that when you wake up and it's daylight, go outside. Morning, Claire, thanks for joining me. So when you wake up, go outside and have a little walk. It doesn't have to be a long one, 5 or 10 minutes will be enough. But the reason for doing it is that so you are getting sunlight through your eyes and into your brain, so that your brain knows that it is time to be awake. And that's all to do with what's called our circadian rhythm, which is our natural rhythm for wakefulness and restfulness. Because if you think back, in the years of cavemen, I suppose, everything was done. We didn't have electric light. Everything was done according to the rhythm of the day. So you get up at first light, you do what you needed to do during the day, and then when it went dark, you went to sleep. Now, our brains and our bodies are still in that state. So if we can tell them that it is time to wake up by going outside and getting that sunlight in our eyes and in our brain, then we'll be in that natural rhythm, and it will have the effect that when it gets dark, we will start to get sleepy and find it much easier to go to sleep. And as I said, when I started talking about this particular strategy, it really did make a difference to me, and it still does. I will notice if I don't go out for my morning walk for whatever reason, because sometimes it just isn't possible in the day. that it really makes a difference, and I don't sleep as well at night. So if you haven't tried that one, I can highly recommend it. So my next strategy, number 4 I think we're on, is to limit caffeine intake. Now I know we all know that caffeine keeps us awake, but you may not know how long it stays in your system after you've had it. It stays in your system for an average of 6 hours, and it can take even longer than that to clear completely, depending on your particular metabolism. So if you have caffeinated drinks, in the afternoon or early evening, then that has an impact on your ability to go to sleep. And what we often forget is that caffeine isn't just in coffee, it's in tea, it's in energy drinks, it's in chocolate. So it's quite common to have a hot chocolate at bedtime, but what that's doing is putting caffeine in your system at the very time that you don't need it in your system, you don't want it in your system because you want to go to sleep. So I recommend not having anything caffeinated after midday or early afternoon at the very latest, depending on when your bedtime is, and that can make a difference. And then, where are we? Number 5 is to not use alcohol to get you to sleep. It can be really tempting to do that because it can make you sleepy, but as I know many of you already know, it doesn't give you a good quality of sleep and it doesn't give you a good rest. So it's avoiding that temptation to use alcohol to get you to sleep is a good one. And also just limiting alcohol generally in the same way as limiting caffeine before you go to bed. So those are the ones I wanted to tell you about for if you have trouble falling asleep. There are a few more for if you have trouble waking up in the night and then not getting back to sleep, and this is one of my classics. So I'll try and go quickly through them because we don't have a lot of time. First thing is not to fret about the fact that you have woken up, because what we resist persists. So if we're lying there thinking, oh no, I've woken up and I can't get back to sleep and I've got to get up at whatever time it is in the morning, that just perpetuates the situation. So try and stay calm about it. Just accept the fact that you've woken up and that you will go back to sleep by using some of the strategies that I'm going to just go through briefly. So first one of those, if you find that you're worrying about things that you've got to do the next morning, then it can be a good idea to keep a notebook by the side of the bed and just quickly scribble down whatever it was that popped into your head, because then knowing that you've written it down, you know that you've got a record of whatever it is that you're worrying about, and you can let it go and get back to sleep. Next one is you could try listening to a calming meditation. There are loads of apps out there that can help you with that. And if you need some advice on where to find them, give me a shout. I'm also a meditation guide, so I can give you some help with some meditations if you'd like those. And then the next one is to use what's called a body scan meditation. Now this is one that I use a lot when I wake up in the middle of the night. It's quite a long, slow meditation, but it really, really works. I'm going to talk you through it very, very quickly now because I've got to go in a couple of minutes, so apologies that I'm racing through it. When you do it much more slowly. So a body scan is exactly what it says. You are scanning your body mentally by putting your focus on different parts of your body in turn, which helps you to relax and get into that sleepy state. So to start, you focus on a big toe on one of your feet. Focus on that. Then move your focus to the rest of the toes. Then move your focus to the top of your foot, then to your ankle and to your shin. And I'm obviously talking through this a lot faster than you would do it in real time. You would focus for much longer. So you get to your shin, then your knee, then your thigh. Then once you're at the top of your leg, you start the same process again at the big toe of the other foot, and then you repeat that, big toe, rest of your toes, top of your foot, ankle, shin, knee, thigh, till you get to the top of your leg. Then you start working your way up to your torso, up through your torso. Then you'll do each arm in turn, starting with thumb and fingers, and then going up your arm, and then eventually you get up to your neck and all the way up through your head, if you get that far. Now, it's natural for minds to wander, so if you find your mind starting to wander, or you notice that you've wandered off into thinking about whatever it is, just go back to wherever the last body part was that you were scanning at the time, that that you can remember going back. Sorry, getting my words mixed up. That you can remember that you were at before your mind started wandering. I'm babbling a bit because I'm on a time limit. So that's a body scan meditation, and I used it last night, used it about a week ago, I think it was. Really helps, because, and I don't think I very rarely get as far as my torso, to be honest, before I drift off to sleep, and I only realised that the following morning. So it's one that I can highly recommend. I do have a couple more, but I don't have time to go through them today. So if you're interested in all of these strategies, I do have a PDF advice sheet about them, about all of them. So the ones for if you have trouble falling asleep, and also the ones for if you need to get back to sleep in the middle of the night. And I'm very happy to pass that on to anybody who wants to message me with their email address. I can forward that through to you. So I hope you found it helpful. I'm doing this talk today in my Flourishing Female Professionals group on Facebook, but it will be uploaded to my YouTube channel. And going forward, I am probably going to be doing the videos live on YouTube each week rather than directly into the group. But for those group members who are watching, I will post in the group where you can find them, and it may be that I can upload them from YouTube to the group. I will let you know. So the only other thing I have to let you know is really exciting news today. My revised website has gone live, so you can look me up at www.jackiewilliamson.com and find out there all about the work I do. So thank you as ever for watching. It's always a pleasure to have people watching, whether it's now or in the future. And I will post in the group next week when and where I'm going to be going live, and I will also put information out there about where you can find me on YouTube. So thanks again for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.